just kicking things off, what sets Stafi apart from the other virtual assistant companies in the space?
That's a great question, Chris. I think that we have a lot of focus on not just providing ahead and saying goodbye and hoping for the best, but really making sure that we pair people, the right boss with that right lawyer, with that right representative. And we have these 4 areas of work that we think about. We have a long consultation to really understand what that person needs, because sometimes lawyers, they think, God, I got a lot of law work to do. I need another paralegal. I need another legal assistant. I need another lawyer. And it's like, maybe that's what you need, but maybe you need someone to take off the silly tasks that you're working on in all the time, and you work on strategy, and let us work on the tactical stuff. So to us, it's very important to, lawyers are incredibly intelligent people, but they're very technical, and what they're technical about is law, about language. And so we want to round those things out with the other things that have to get done in that law firm. That's what we think about.
That's amazing, and it comes down to the talent. And we spoke briefly, but tell me about the qualifications of the people you hire, because you can get a general, someone can kind of moonlight and do that HR role, or you got leaders of the firm, and you kind of make these quick hires, and but tell me about the qualifications and the people that you hire.
So most people, when they hire someone, they interview maybe 1 or 2 people, 3 before they make a hire. Most people don't do a real background check. They don't call companies beforehand. They don't check credentials. They just kind of get a good gut feeling. And there's a lot of studies about gut feelings. And that's not the way to hire. We look over 1,000 resumes a month. We interview over 100 people. We hire around 20, and out of those 20 that we hire, we end up really putting them through a training process that lasts 2 to 3 weeks. First 2 weeks on tactical things that we want them to make sure they know how to do, and then we put them to work inside our company. And so if they can work inside our company for around a week with one of our people, then we know that they're ready to be set. So to us, it's very, very important that we set the right person to do the right job.
That's incredible. And one of the things you mentioned was communication, and from what I researched, and correct me if I'm wrong, that all your hires are bilingual, which gives firms and areas larger populations, certainly the Spanish speakers, the upper hand. So tell me about the communication and that process.
Yeah. So, and that kind of brings me to kind of our services. So we have 2 services. One is a dedicated service. So let's say, Chris, you needed an EA to help you book appointments or call out to people. That's a dedicated person that all they do is that. They can be part-time or full-time. So they have 4 hours a day or 8 hours a day, just dedicated to you. And we don't want them to have 2 jobs. So it's not like part-time with you and part-time with somebody else. It's just someone that's does something else or going to school. They still want to work, but we want them dedicated to you. And we don't want them thinking about anything freelance, anything, but they're not allowed to do freelance. The other service that we do, and it's mainly for immigration for PI, is intake and reception. And so you're right, everyone's bilingual at least, so Spanish and English, or Portuguese, Spanish, and English. And they take phone calls, so they rep the company. And look, there's a lot of companies out there that do this. Smith AI is one of them, and Ruby, and there's a bunch of companies that do this. What makes us different is that we want to close deals. We want to make sure that when they're calling our client's firm, we are doing everything we can to bring that person to be a qualified lead. Because there's a lot of money being spent, as you know, in marketing, and then the firm's not closing, and then they're like, well, I don't know if we should do any more marketing. It was like, well, that's because you're not closing the deals. We got to close the deals. And that's what's very important. When we first started thinking about doing this, we tested the different companies out there to see how they did. And they answer the phone. They're all great at answering the phone. I can't say that I had a bad experience there. But if I was on a call with them and I said, hey, you know what? I got to go. Can we talk later? They would let me go. They didn't ask for my name. They didn't ask for my phone number. They didn't want to get back to me. And that's what I think makes the difference for that kind of service.